I always believed that love was built on trust. For the longest time, that trust was unshakable, until the day I met her. The woman my husband had been sending money to every single month for years, the woman he called his beloved sister. What I discovered that day shattered everything I thought I knew about my marriage, and about the man I shared my life with. It began innocently. Every month, right after my husband Daniel received his salary, he would make a transfer. He'd sit quietly at the dining table, type something into his phone, and then sigh with relief, as if he had fulfilled some moral duty. At first, I didn't think much of it. He told me it was for his sister, Lily, who lived in another city. "She's struggling, you know," he would say softly. "Her husband left, and she's raising her son alone." I admired his kindness. I even encouraged him to send a little extra some months. After all, family is family. But as time went on, I started noticing things that didn't add up. For someone who was supposedly struggling, Lily always seemed to have new clothes in her pictures. Her social media posts showed her dining in expensive restaurants, going on weekend getaways, and even driving a new car. I didn't want to jump to conclusions. Maybe she had found a new job or started a business. Still, something about it didn't sit right with me. One night, as Daniel showered, I noticed a notification pop up on his phone. It was a message from Lily: "Got the money, love. You're my everything." My heart skipped a beat. The message was short, but the tone, it didn't sound like something a sister would write. I froze. When he came out, I acted normal, but inside, a storm was brewing. For days, I couldn't sleep. My mind kept replaying that message. Was I overreacting? Could it be a misunderstanding? I needed answers, but I wanted the truth from her, not him. So, I decided to visit her. Daniel had never taken me to see Lily, always saying she was too private and uncomfortable with guests. That made me even more determined. The next week, Daniel said he was going on a business trip. I took that opportunity to plan my own trip to Lily's city. It took me half a day to find her address, but when I stood in front of her apartment building, my hands were trembling. I wasn't sure if I was ready for what I might find. When Lily opened the door, I almost didn't recognize her. She was stunning, elegantly dressed, glowing with confidence. She looked like a woman who had everything she wanted in life. "You must be Daniel's wife," she said with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Her tone was polite but cold, guarded. I forced a smile and stepped inside. Her apartment looked like something out of a magazine: modern furniture, designer decor, and not a trace of financial struggle. We talked for a few minutes, mostly small talk, but I could sense the tension between us. Then I asked, "So, how are you managing?" "Daniel tells me things have been hard." Lily froze for a moment, then laughed softly. "Hard? Oh, that was a long time ago. Things are much better now." She crossed her legs and smirked. "Daniel's been very generous." Something about the way she said his name made my stomach twist. "Generous how?" I asked carefully. She leaned forward, her smile sharp. "Let's not play games. You already know, don't you?" I blinked. "Know what?" Her expression softened into something cruelly pitiful. "Daniel and we've been together for years. He told me he'd leave you, but he keeps making excuses. I didn't expect you to actually show up here." The words hit me like a punch to the chest. My breath caught in my throat, my vision blurred. "You're lying," I whispered. "You're his sister." She laughed bitterly. "Sister? That's what he told you?" She reached for her phone and opened a gallery of pictures, her and Daniel, holding hands, kissing, laughing like lovers. My knees gave out, and I sank onto the couch. I couldn't speak. The world around me faded into silence. When I finally managed to get home that night, Daniel was already there, waiting. He looked nervous, like he knew what was coming. I confronted him with everything I'd seen. At first, he denied it, said Lily was just manipulating me, that the pictures were old, out of context. But when I showed him the message, his face crumbled. He fell to his knees, crying, begging me to forgive him. He confessed everything. Lily wasn't his sister, she was a woman he'd met before we married. She'd helped him through a dark period in his life, and he'd never really let her go. He told me he sent her money because she threatened to expose their affair if he stopped. He claimed he was trying to protect me, protect our marriage. But how do you protect something by filling it with lies? I felt broken. Betrayed. I wanted to scream, to hate him, but all I could do was cry. The man I had loved, trusted, and shared a life with had been living a double life, right under my nose. For days, I stayed silent. Daniel begged, cooked for me, wrote letters, even promised to go to therapy. But the trust was gone. Love without trust is just a memory, a ghost of what used to be. One morning, I packed my bags. He tried to stop me, holding on to me like a drowning man clinging to driftwood. But I looked him in the eyes and said, "You already let me go, the moment you lied." I walked out that door, not knowing what awaited me, only knowing I deserved peace. Months passed. I started rebuilding my life, piece by piece. It wasn't easy. There were days I cried myself to sleep, but there were also days I smiled again, genuinely, for the first time in years. I found work, new friends, and most importantly, myself. One day, I received a message from Daniel. He wrote, "I hope you're happy. I'm sorry for everything. You were the best thing that ever happened to me, and I destroyed it." I didn't reply. Some things don't need closure, they just need distance. Looking back now, I realize that pain has a purpose. It teaches us what we truly deserve. I had spent so long trying to understand why he betrayed me, but now I understand, it wasn't about me. It was about his weakness, his inability to value the truth. And as for Lily? A few months later, I heard from a mutual friend that Daniel stopped sending her money, and she disappeared, leaving him with nothing but regret. Sometimes the truth hurts, but it also sets you free. I learned that love isn't proven by sacrifice or blind trust, it's proven by honesty. And when honesty dies, love dies with it. I may have lost my marriage, but I found my strength. And that, more than anything, was worth everything.